Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Monday, April 6, 2020. Thanks for joining me. Hope you all are safe out here. Had a few things on my mind. There's a lot going on in the world every day with this coronavirus. People with a YouTube platform could make a video, 4 or 5 videos a day, just talking endlessly about this virus and treatments and this person's story, that person's story. Most of you have probably heard about the Prime Minister abroad who has COVID-19. It is sad. He's in ICU, but he is woke. He's not on a ventilator. In the UK. Praying for him. Then I read something about a Mr. Jason Hargrove, Detroit bus driver, went viral 2 weeks ago. A lady boarded his bus, late 50s, 60s, coughing. And he was standing outside in the cold, sweating now. And we know it's cold because smoke coming out of his mouth. And he's talking about her being disrespectful and people not taking the virus serious. And he has a job to do, you know. And now, 2 weeks later, he has died from COVID-19. He also was married, so now his wife has to also be leery and praying she's been tested. Then you have to think about all the people that came in contact with him on that bus, on the many routes he rode. His wife, all their contacts, friends, family. You see what I'm saying about this virus? She don't care nothing about you. She don't care nothing about you being black, white, Chinese, tall, short, fat. Yeah, you know I call her a she. Miss Corona. And this is why people are getting sick and people are dying, because she's just jumping from one person to the next, one host after the other. She's looking for a host, she's looking for a victim. That's her job. So my prayers are with the Prime Minister abroad. Hope he gets well. He's 55 years of age. Then there was this Mr. Hargrove, Jason. I think they said he was 50, and he's no longer living. So we're going to pray for his wife and his family. Pray for Detroit. Pray for everybody. I brought you a video late in the morning about the prison system in Michigan. They're being hit hard, just like other prisons, Louisiana. And I'm sure it's going to be everywhere in America and abroad. This virus doesn't care. There are drugs right now out. None have been approved by the FDA, of course. No vaccination, no cure. Some made to treat malaria, autoimmune diseases, lupus, arthritis, SARS, MERS, drugs used for that, and have come out okay. People who needed those drugs fared fairly well. It's up to you if you decide, if you ever get sick with this virus, if you'll take the drugs that are administered. I'm just praying that they have drugs to give to area hospitals in our cities and towns that can help us if we are to become afflicted with this COVID-19. That's going to be our problem. I think what I'm angry about is the fact that people have been sent home with mild symptoms and they tested positive and they were told to self-quarantine. So people took the advice from the medical officials at that time. But the sad part is that some people had to double back to the hospital because they took ill, and some died from the advice from medical officials, doctors, whomever said, go back home, self-quarantine. But then they double back because their symptoms got worse. Now they're no longer living. And that's the problem, because we don't have a vaccination. We don't have what we need to treat this virus, and people are becoming ill and they are self-quarantined at home, but it's not enough because it's common sense. It's a virus that's deadly, and you don't know how your body is going to react to it once you have been tested positive. So you're rolling the dice to see if you are going to survive. Some people have survived. Yes, they have. Then others have succumbed to the disease. And that's where I'm irritated as hell. It's the sending the people home, and then they double back worse. And that's what happened with that prime minister. Went home after testing positive March 26th, and then he goes back here, and now he's in ICU. But by the grace of God, he's not on a ventilator, and that's a good thing. I know most hospitals can't probably take the massive amount of people that may come in testing positive, such as New York. They wouldn't have the beds. But as I state, you're only sending people home that have the mild symptoms, but that does not mean that they won't get worse. And that's where our problem is those who get worse. And they have to go back. And you have to think about the incubation period, how long it took from the moment they went and tested positive, got sent home, stayed home, and then went back to the hospital. That could be day 3, day 6, day 7. That they are positive and are home and then get sick. And day 7, they go back. Day 8, they go back to the hospital. Now they have failing organs. Now they can't breathe. Now they need a ventilator. This is a mean heifer here. You hear me? You can't see her, can't smell her. She doesn't have feet, she doesn't have arms, but she's taking victims, and she's taking them left and right. She don't care if you're 50, if you're 60, if you're 40, if you're 20. She's taking you. And some people have been linked to not having any underlying conditions. So what's up with that? This is cruel. This is terrible. Is this a time for forgiveness? Remember I mentioned about being kinder, more respectful to people, lending a hand if you can, lending aid, food, a ride, anything to help someone out, someone elderly, someone young. But I got a knock at my door earlier, and I never answer the door verbally. I always look out first, because I don't need anyone knowing if I'm home or not. That's how I live. Because see, I don't know who's on the other side of the door. And lo and behold, if I say, coming, then I get to the door, may see somebody on the other side I don't want to be bothered with. Now I got to tell them what? I'm sick, I don't want to be bothered. And then most of you will say, well, they should know that anyway, because COVID-19 is out. That's right. So why are you knocking at my door? We don't talk, we don't deal with each other. We don't have anything to say. You haven't been such a nice person. You like to fly off the handle, get ignorant with people, cuss people out. You've done it recently to some people. So there's no way I'm going to talk to you. I'm not going to waste my breath. I'm not going to even let you come in my home. You don't have any reason to be knocking at my door. And that's the nice side of me talking. And that's just something I'm throwing out there with you guys. Are there some people you'd like to be talking to again? People you'd like to forgive and deal with again? Because you know everything's about perception, such as this COVID-19. My thing is, if I haven't been talking to you and dealing with you, and it was a negative situation, and you're disrespectful, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And it doesn't matter if there was COVID-19 here or not. That's just how I live. I don't like people who fly off the handle and get disrespectful and foul-mouthed to you for no reason, and you've done nothing to them. Now, maybe they do have a mental issue or mental problems, but if I don't know that, that's still not my problem. I can only judge you according to what I see and what I hear. And if I hear recently you've been rude to some people and were nasty to them, then that tells me you haven't changed, and that's just your disposition. That you have a nasty disposition. That one minute you play nice, and the next minute you'll fly off the handle and cuss some person out. So I'd rather just leave you where you stand, which is on the other side of the door. Do you understand what I'm saying? You see, a lot of people like to use the Bible as an excuse to, as I call it, pimping Jesus. Well, the Bible says you need to forgive people, well, you know, I will say this. The Bible did say that, but nowhere in the Bible did it tell me or others to be a fool. to be a rug, to be a doormat, to be a mockery. So I hate when people say that, like to use that, what the Bible said. Dealing with you and forgiving you are two different things. I can forgive you to myself, and only God knows. Doesn't mean I have to tell you I've forgiven you. If I just don't deal with you, then that's my prerogative. That's anyone's prerogative. You understand what I'm saying? But forgiveness and still going around you knowing you have a nasty attitude or I'm not benefiting from being around you, they're not the same. And I think a lot of people get that mistaken. When they hear that maybe you're not talking to somebody or you had a disagreement or whatever situation is that was negative, some people will say, oh, well, the Bible says you should forgive them. That don't have anything to do with me dealing with them. Some say forgiveness is for self, not for others. True. You're right, because you can end up being a bitter person, mad at the world, holding on to things that people have done to you. But I also know I don't believe in shenanigans. I don't believe in buffoonery. And I just don't believe in nasty people with nasty attitudes. So if I see that you've done it more than once, time's gone by, and I just don't trust you, then I just don't trust you. And I don't want to have anything to do with you. And I'm not going to let some virus hold me hostage to be back in that scenario again. And then I regret that I ever dealt with you again. You understand what I'm saying? To each his own. To each his own. But I was just wondering if some of you are sitting out there thinking, maybe I should call that person up. I haven't talked to him in a while. Or we had a disagreement, or we had a falling out, or whatever. Everybody do what they want to do. But when they're nasty, and and when I'm being truthful with what I'm saying, I'm not sugarcoating it. When a person is just nasty, will just fly off and cuss you out, or cuss out this person over here for no reason, they haven't done anything to that person, I don't see dealing with that person. Now, if other people want to deal with that person, that is their business. But frankly, I don't roll like that. Because I know if you cross me once, ignorant, you will surely do it again. Believe that. And I'm not going to take that chance. COVID-19 or not. You see where I'm going? Just my thoughts. But I'm praying for all of you. I'm praying for those who have been afflicted by this disease. Praying for the families of those who have lost a family member, friend. Praying for our communities, our nation. Praying for this world. How are we going to resume again? Are we ever going to resume again from this virus? Because it is dirty. What's going on? Caught myself trying to cook. And it's scary out here. Very scary. Very scary. What's going on? Not knowing where we're going to be. Are we going to be able to resume life again? Single people, are you going to be able to date? Not supposed to be around anybody. 6 feet away. So that means you're not going to be going on any dates. Nothing's open to date. No sports, no functions, no weddings, no nothing. No church. Not going to a play, a musical, outdoor, concert, indoor concert, play, whatever. Will the virus leave anytime soon? Will there be a cure, vaccination? Will it be the end of the year before we get rid of this virus? I'm very leery right now. I don't know what to think. But I don't think it's going away in a month or two. And that I don't think. Because it's rampant. And now we're hearing about a tiger in the Bronx Zoo having it. So that means animals can get it. And that's a big animal. That ain't a puppy. That ain't a cat. But it's an animal nonetheless. You understand what I'm saying? So now, what do we think about animals getting it? And the president wants the world to resume, this nation to resume business April 30th. How are we going to do that? I don't see it leaving. It's in the prisons. It's in the nursing homes, assisted living. It's in the air. It's here. People may not be falling over as soon as they walk outside, falling over deceased, but you understand what I'm saying. She's here. And she's taking names and she don't care who you are. She don't care about your demographics. She don't care if you're educated. She doesn't care anything about you. And some are wondering, is it God's will? Is it the devil? Or is it just somebody was nasty and they were dealing with raw meat and got contaminated by dealing with raw meat? Or they were around an animal that was contaminated with the virus? It's just the thought of knowing that it's a bad pangolin disease virus, that you're coming in contact with that. And it has been passed from person to person to person. That's wicked. Very wicked. And what if it ends up that this is the new norm for us? Walking around with masks on. Because we used to see the pictures on TV and the news of Oriental people walking around with masks on all the time abroad, thinking, wow, thank God that ain't us. Imagine that. That might be us. Because right now, that is us. Right here in the good old USA. Walking around with masks on and gloves. Some of you anyway. Some of you not complying. Some of you still running around outside. Some of you still got your kids running around playing with other children. As if there is no COVID-19. But what if this is the new norm, that from here on out, we are wearing gloves and masks, waiting to see who falls down first from COVID-19? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine it just be, we're allowed to go out and shop for groceries only and food. But it'll be up in the air about working. No more events. No more church. No more football, basketball. No more pro ball, college ball. No draft, no nothing. No swim meets, no soccer, no tennis. No nothing. We can't imagine that, can we? No more sporting events. Hell, no more school. See, it goes that deep. So how will we live? How will we be able to work and feed ourselves? Then what about TV and entertainment? Then that means there'll be no more TV shows. No series, no reality TV. Then that leaves the news and then the radio. See, it goes really deeper than we really think about. Manufacturing, the things that we value and lusting behind and idolize, household things, goods, luxury goods, all of that, that will cease. And then what will we end up becoming? Just flesh walking around empty, lonely, sad, miserable, because we can just walk by people at 6 feet, nod like a robot, but no affection, no love, no hand holding, no touching, no sex, no nothing. Bet you all didn't think about that, did you? What if we just become damn near walking zombies, robots just walking around, but we are not living, we're not entertaining, we're watching whatever was once made on TV show, but there's no more entertainment, no more nothing. Will this virus leave in the next couple of months? Will there be a vaccination? Will there be a cure? Will some of you take the vaccination if it is offered to you? I mentioned earlier on Ikamel's channel that I would take a vaccination. I mean, I don't want to die, I want to live. I got a lot of living to do. I want the world to resume the way it was. Maybe not be as vengeful and spiteful and hateful, greedy, lustful, bitter, miserable, all those things. But we are human and we are flawed. But I want the world to resume. And as I state, I don't know if this is God's work or what. I know He allows all things that are bad. Is He doing this to show us something? To show us what we are about? What we have become? Or is it the devil? Or is it just a nasty virus? As I state, I don't believe in conspiracy theories and all that whack stuff about 4G, 5G, cords, this and that, wires. That it had nothing to do with a bat or a pangolin, and you know that. But to each his own. You're entitled to your opinion. But I know if it gets worse, it will get worse. And I'm praying that it doesn't. But I'm saying to you all, can you imagine how worse it can get? Where there's no running around, talking to people, sharing things with people, no entertainment, no gatherings, no nothing. I don't think we really realize how bad it can get. And I know most of us don't think about it because we don't want to think about it. I'm praying for a cure. I'm praying that God says, okay, they've suffered enough now. They've suffered enough now. Thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. God bless you. Keep you safe. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. 6 feet. Don't go out if you don't have to unless you get food. Call somebody up and say hello. Check on them. Make sure they're okay. This is Everyday Shenanigans. God bless you. Bye-bye.